A warm greetings to everyone. This is Suhasini S, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering from RMD Engineering College. This lecture is about the subject called Software Development Practice, and this lecture will give a detailed description about the SDLC model. So first of all, what is SDLC? The expansion of SDLC is Software Development Life Cycle. So why we go for this SDLC is we have other software engineering practices as well to handle all the problem statements. But the main use of going for SDLC is to produce an high quality of softwares, to produce an high quality of software as well. So this SDLC life cycle is following some steps which gives an high quality of software. So the main aim of this SDLC is also to produce an high quality of software. So how this high quality, when we'll say this high quality of software, when you reaches the expectation which is provided by the customer. Okay, so you want to have all the things to be attained properly, and you have to be satisfied the customer. So how it happens? So the SDLC is following some different steps, where the main advantages of SDLC is they'll have a proper communication then and there with the the project team, and the customer will have a proper communication so that they'll have a good output. So when you produce high quality of software, and when you reaches their expectation, then the completion and the cost of that will be will not go higher. Okay, it will be within the expectation and within the the level. Okay, so the next is the other name called for SDLC is the software development process. Okay, so the SDLC is also called as the software development life cycle, is also called as software development process. So now coming to this how does SDLC then works? So this SDLC works as a framework. Okay, so this framework is going to perform a task. How it is going to perform a task? Every model is going to perform a task. So when coming to this life cycle, the word itself says it's a life cycle. So obviously we'll have some certain steps. So with the help of those steps, you will develop the software by performing it as a task as a framework. So the entire SDLC is defined as a framework, and it works as a task, and that task will be carried out as a step to develop the software development. Okay. So next, so anyhow, whatever you introduce, you produce, you will have a standard, right? So the standard used for this SDLC is SOIEC 12207, which is a standard used to produce the SDLC, which is an international standard. So this standard defines all the tasks which is required for developing and maintaining the software. Okay, so what is SDLC? We know. So SDLC is going to act as a framework. So it is going to process. Okay, it is going to do some task. To do that task, we are going to follow some steps. So these things we are going to do. Where we are going to do? So to the project. To what project we are going to do? Then now that is a software project. So to create a software project, we need to process something. So that process is called SDLC. So with this is going to be done within the organization. So how this process is going to happen? So we have some detailed plan. How? So what you are going to develop, how we are going to maintain, if there is a render, how we are going to replace or alter, how we are going to enhance it in future. All these things you will be describing in the SDLC. Okay, so now coming to why SDLC is important. Why SDLC is important than the software engineering practices? So it is having a standardized framework. So that is the one important thing. It follows some steps. So that steps contains, as I told, it has some task, which follow some step. So here they are telling like activities and some set of deliverables as well. So next is it has some planning, what is going to be estimated, and we'll have some scheduling. So these things will be planned accordingly. And the very first point I told about SDLC is they will have high quality of software. How you are going to produce this high quality of software? When you meet the customer expectation. How you will meet the customer expectation? When you are in contact with them, when you are in contact with them regularly, and the project is being tracked regularly, then your expectation will be reached then and there. So that is going to be very important, and that can be done in the SDLC as well. So it makes the project tracking so that the control is easier. Next, it increases the visibility on all aspects of life cycle. So which means all the stakeholder can able to see each and every step which is happening in that particular process. The stakeholders are nothing but the customer is a stakeholder for the project. The project manager is a stakeholder for the project. The team members are the stakeholders for that project. The CEO of the company who is taking the project is also stakeholder. So all these people can able to see the project development and the process. So that easy, everything can be easily tracked. Okay, so these are the things which is important for the SDLC model. That's why we go for SDLC. Now coming to the next other different points is, so next is it increases speed. So I'm tracking then and there. So if any error is there, I can able to track it there itself, so that uh, no delay. Once after completing everything, you're going to give it to the pro customer. He will test it, he will work on it, then he will get some. If it always it is not like that. If sometimes he is going to get any error, then he will come back to you, and you have to track what is the error. Then it is a long process, and it is not that much speed to the entire delivery of the whole project without any error. So here it takes some long time now, but the SDLC is having one major advantages. It is project tracking is done then and there, so that no errors will happen later on, so that the speed of development increases. So as you have tracking then and there, you are meeting the client then and there, so that the client relation maintains. So though you are maintaining you are maintaining the relationship good, you are increasing the speed of development. So the risk, your tracking is done, so the risk is decreased, the management expenses decreased, the cost is also decreased. So these are the other important importance of SDLC. Now security, how security in SDLC? First of all, the security, the initial concept and creation of SDLC only address the security. Okay, how they address a security, a separate process or a singular task it has addressed. And sometimes it worked for performance as well, where that performance occurs only in the testing phase. Okay, so these are the security. And the shortcoming what they identified while providing security is, there are more number of vulnerabilities and bugs identified, and sometimes that too these things were identified in late process only, so that we went for SDLC. So SDLC will have a proper tracking. So we have identified all these disks. Whereas without using the SDLC, it was tracked late, and sometimes it was not at all. It was not able to track at all. So that's why this SDLC is providing security as well. So next is, what are the advantages? So we know that we are going to produce a secure software by how the security is provided is by continuous concern, which is by continuous tracking. Okay, creating awareness of security consideration by we are discussing, we are tracking, we are discussing with our team, so that is going to be an advantage. So early detection. So with this continuous tracking, you will detect it there, so the cost reduction happens, and the overall business risk also will be reduced. So finally, we have 6 phases of software. How I told, we are going to do some task. That task is going to have some steps. So what are the steps now? So we say that as 6 phases of software development life cycle. So the 6 phases are analysis, design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Okay. So what is analysis? Who is going to do the analysis? One is the product owner. Who is the product owner here? To whom we are going to give the product? To the customer who requires the product. So the customer is a product owner. So the product owner who is going to do that project is a project manager. Who is going to analyze that project? The business analysis, which means the team members, either the team member, the project member, CTO, the chief technical officer of that particular team. So these people sit together, the team members, project manager, the chief technical officer of the team, and the project customer, who is the product owner, will all sit together. Will all have some communication either in online or offline. They'll make the analysis of what requirements they want, and after that all identification will go for this design. Who will design? The system architect, using the UX UI designer concept. They'll be designing. Once designing is done and it is confirmed from the customer, then you'll go for development. So when you develop something, you will have front end and back end as well. So in the development phase, we want a front end developer and a back end developer. Then once the development is done, it will go for the testing. So we have solution architect to test the team, or sometimes a quality check in quality analyst, engineer, a tester, or a DevOps concept to test. And finally, after testing everything is completed, then you will move on to the deployment, which is you are going to give the deliver the product. So to the deliver the product, we'll contact the data administration and follow the DevOps steps. And finally, once after delivering, maintenance has to be done both users as well as the customer as well as the support managers. That is the project manager. Then the team who developed, they should also track what is happening in that software. Everything is going fine. What has been done? What is not working? Everything has to done. So once something is created, the maintenance is also very important in that, to avoid all the faults. So these are the different 6 phases of software development life cycle. Okay. So next, coming on to this, I told that it is a software development life cycle. So is the software development life cycle model is the only one model? No, it is providing some set of models for different set of stages of projects. So if it is going to be a simple project, some model. If it is going to be a critical project, some model. So we have different models as well. So that is waterfall model, iterative model, spiral model, V model, Big Bang model. And apart from that, we have incremental model. On all these things, more and more models are also available. Okay. So thank you.